Hello, thank you so much for purchasing with Medium Emary a tea leaf reading. So this is going to be a first tea leaf reading video because actually this is more of a tea leaf via email service, but just for you I am going to do a video, and it's going to be a demonstration as well that I'm going to put on YouTube, but your name and info will be confidential and I will only focus on your tea leaves and what they say. So I'm going to light up a candle. So I'm going to just explain what I did really quickly. So I'm going to put this over here actually. So I have here teacup. Alright, so the tea leaves that I used, it's called English, a typical like English black tea. Alright, so I did, use hot water, and I just poured the water in the cup and 2 teaspoons of the black tea leaves, and so it's like I'm drinking tea with the tea leaves in it, and at the same time I was drinking it, I was tuning into your energy and tuning into the 2 topics that you wanted to ask, hun. Alright, so I'm gonna go back here just to make sure. Okay, I was focusing and tuning into what you wanted to ask, and then just focusing on your name in my head while I was drinking and enjoying it. So I'm gonna do the little ritual now, and then I'll just start reading the tea leaves and going over the symbols and what I see, and I'll just look back at your question just to clarify in the meantime. Alright, so after I'm done drinking it, what we do is with not your dominant hand, so my dominant hand is my right, and I'm going to use my left. You turn the little bit of water that's on the bottom, you turn it this way, so towards the hand that you're not dominant with, which for me is my left, and I'm going to go towards my heart, and you have to do it 3 times. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Alright, so you're going to see like that, and then once you're done with that, you pour it onto the saucer. Okay, and then again with your non-dominant hand, you turn it towards the left, which points to the heart, which for me I'm using my left, but if your dominant hand is your left, you use your right. So I will fully turn around towards the handle, which the handle needs to point directly to me. So I'm going to turn it around 3 times, okay? So this is a practice ritual that comes with the whole tessiography aspect of it. It's like part of a little magical ritual. I think I did 3 times. I'm going to just do it one more time just to make sure. Alright, so once you go around 3 times, you have the handle point towards you directly, and then you tap on the bottom 3 times. Alright, and once that's complete, that's it. We start reading your tea leaves. Alright, so what we do is we usually focus on first what's pointing towards the handle, and then we just read what's around it. Whatever's away from the handle focuses on your future, focuses on what's coming, things like that. So the main thing that I focus on is the bottom, and then I start going towards the top. So definitely in the bottom there is some form of suppressed emotion in the heart chakra area. Whenever there's a bunch of leaves suppressed on the bottom for me, it focuses on the fact that there's suppressed emotion, there's emotions that haven't been, healed properly, hasn't been released or let go of properly, and it's kind of just been accumulated there in the heart chakra. So my best advice to you from reading this is to find ways to heal it properly, express it properly, maybe meditation, prayer, crystals, visualization exercises to help you peel back these layers, because that suppressed emotion itself or heartache can really affect you. And if it's still there, it doesn't mean it won't come up now, but when it's not properly expressed, it can come up later, and you don't want that when there's emotions that haven't been properly expressed. You still feel it and it still comes up, if that makes any sense. Alright, so towards you there's really nothing in the sense of like what's going on in your mind, but more of like there's a lot that's gonna happen with you, okay? So what I do feel is like I feel like you're in alignment. So there is a line, if you see coming around the cup, for me that represents there is an alignment going on. You're on the right path. There's nothing to worry about. All right, which is interesting here. I do see a volcano. I don't know if you see that there, but there's a volcano right there. For me, it represents, you know, I do feel like you can get mad when it comes down to things or when things bother you, but you're kind of person where like you don't just snap right away. It's like for you to get upset, it has to accumulate over time, and then to the point then you just blow up, kind of like a pressure cooker. And that's what it's showing me. It's like you'll have patience, you'll deal with somebody's issues, or you'll just deal with them just to see what happens. But when you are accumulating it too much and it's like getting to the point of a pressure cooker, you explode like a volcano. That's what it shows here, hun. You explode just like a volcano. All right. Let me see here as I look more into this. I definitely see something with like a home. So I think I told you this in your last reading, but I do see you. Sorry about the dogs. I do see you eventually moving or finding a better place or leaving from where you live. I do see that. So if I don't feel like it's now, obviously, but I do see some form of a moving from where you live, maybe because of a job of your partner, or maybe a job for you, or I feel like it's like you're moving because of something that's going to be there, that's going to be helpful towards your living situation or living environment. Okay? What can I see here? I also see an arrow. So whenever I see an arrow, that represents like um, whatever target you have, you can achieve it. You just have to stay focused on it. Like, don't lose hope in it. Stay focused on it, and if you stay focused on it, you can achieve it. Okay, so keep your eye on the target. That's what it's saying. All right. It's funny because as I look at the tea leaves on the bottom, it's like it's just so stuck that it just represents how suppressed your emotions are, to the point that it's like you may feel numb at times, or it's like you can't even recall those emotions because they're so numbed out, or so like really like just like neutral, like blanked out, that it's hard for you to feel them again sometimes because they're so suppressed down. I'm gonna just look at your questions here because I see something here about business, so I just want to clarify. What's funny is I do see some form of it's weird because I know you're talking about your business, but career-wise, I'm seeing some weird thing, which for me, I see something like medical or working with billing or insurance, healthcare, or something of that nature that works with like some company that has to do with like healthcare or insurance, or managing like medical bills or something of that nature. But I see some form of medical with you. If it's not you being like a nurse or a doctor, it's something working in that field, maybe as like I said, in the healthcare, something like that. But I see something of that nature that's coming through. Now, I don't know what kind of business you do, but I do feel like the tea leaves are saying to put out your options. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, because I do feel like maybe this business can go well, but I do feel like there probably is something better out there for you. I'm not saying the business won't go well, but I'm just saying that I'm feeling that there's something that you'll probably love even more than the business. Um, Not saying you shouldn't focus on it. Focus on it. You never know what could happen. But I'm not seeing so much with the business. I'm seeing more with this like medical, like this healthcare, like this field. All right. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm seeing something with it. Okay. I'm seeing like more like put out your options because either this business you haven't started it or you're not prepared or you're still learning about it or researching about it, but I'm feeling like there needs to be more work put into it for it to be potentially a real thing. So I feel like right now spirit's telling me through the tea leaves not to put so much energy into it right now, as to I do feel like it how do I say it, it won't give you, it won't come out as you would expect. Like it needs more work, if that makes any sense. But I do see you in this healthcare or insurance or like working on some field like that. Something with the medical field. For some odd reason, I'm picking that up and I'm feeling that. All right, I'm gonna see here your second question. Yeah. So the karma, the peace, is more of the heart chakra area. It's more of releasing what has numbed you. Not saying like you just have to cry everything out, but more of like you need to forgive yourself and accept what happened. I do feel like you've been in that process and you've gotten better at it, but I feel like you still hold some negative emotion about it. And I am feeling like if you can't do it for yourself, maybe it's good to find somebody you could talk to, maybe a therapist, maybe I'm feeling like therapy in general or talking to somebody would be really good for you. Just good for you to vent and emotionally be able to like express it out. If not, you could talk to a friend, but I do feel like a therapist would be good for you. Because you've gone through a lot of triggers, a lot of traumas that come up sometimes and affect you just on your daily routine. It just comes up or affects you, and it's affected a lot of your anxiety and nerves and stuff like that. So I would feel, for me, therapy would be really good, just to talk to somebody, and then they could help you in that whole mental part, because I think I did tell you in the last reading, I do feel like depression is intense in your family. So I feel like when you do get depressed, it's not due to the fact there's something wrong with you. It's more of a chemical thing. It's more of a genetic thing. So when you do get depressed, you get really down, and therapy would be good. Just to be able to talk to somebody. It's not bad to talk to a therapist. I've had a therapist before. It's just good for your mind, to like stimulate the mind and re-evaluate yourself and have more self-realization and awakenings and stuff like that. Um, Trying to see if there's anything else I could tell you before I end the video here. It's funny because this volcano also looks like someone running away from something. So again, I do feel like due to your suppressed emotions in the past, and we can refer to as karma, you sometimes run away from it emotionally. Like you don't want to deal with those emotions, you don't want to think about it. And because you're just so sensitive, you're naturally an empath, so you're very sensitive when you have to confront those things. And Spirit's saying to just sit with it, meditate with it, and find a way to forgive and accept it. It may take time. You don't have to do it right in the moment, but find ways where you can forgive and accept what happened. At least forgive yourself. That's what I'm hearing. To forgive yourself. Like this whole tea leaf reading is really making me feel like you need to forgive yourself. Okay? it's weird because I think this refers to your dad, but you've always had an angel on your back and they've been guiding you, and that's what I feel this whole line part is meaning, that you've had this angel that's been guiding you. So it's like more of like you've been in alignment because of this spiritual thing that's just you've just been following naturally. So I don't know if you've ever felt like you've been just following something that's been guiding you, but know that there is something that's been doing that, that's been guiding you, and you just follow it, kind of like a line, like a trail, and you've been following this trail based on this spiritual force that's been just guiding you. And I really do feel like it's been your dad guiding you, that spiritual force. And kind of like Hansel and Gretel, you think of like the trail, that's kind of like your dad's always been trying to put out a trail for you. And I really feel like that's the cool part about your relationship with him, even though he's in a different place. And know that you are in alignment and you are on the right path. And no matter what, if you're scared and you feel like you're not in the right path, your dad's gonna lay it out for you and you'll see the signs. So I'm gonna leave you with that, hon. I very much hope you enjoyed this. It was a blessing to read you and a pleasure. Thank you so much. Bye now.